school districts, and I'm the same way, is usually our attorney takes care of that for the board. But that's not necessarily the best way to do it. 5 years ago, I think it was, we started a policy review, and I think Dennis and Dave and Mark probably remembers it. We did probably about 10 to 12 policies every evening. We would, I'd tell you a month in advance which 10 we were going to take a look at. The boards would have to read them, and they would bring back any changes they wanted, or they would say this one's fine, or they would say eliminate this one. And it took us 22 months, that's doing them every board meeting to get through them all. And so that was, you know, I believe we started in, I came in 05, so we must have started in like the summer of 06 and probably finished up in close to 08 or the end. So it does take a long time. You can also pay to have the Nebraska School Boards Association or the attorneys review them for you. That cost is normally $4,000 to $5,000, I'm guessing, and they'll do that for you too. The nice thing about us doing it is it makes you read them.
That was going to be my
But,
suggestion.
yeah, but we're also not the experts. We can read them, we can make changes, but then if we're going to change one, I end up sending it to our attorney anyway, just to make sure it's all kosher and legal, and they'll send it back and charge us anyway. So you know, it's up to the board. You know, I would say when you have this many policies, you're not going to change very many of them anyway. It's probably worth it if you want to devote the time to do it that way. So, but if we're going to review policies, my suggestion to the group is that we wait till July, because I will get all of the updated policies from the current legislative session from the Perry Guessford firm that will replace some of ours anyway. And then rather than do the same policy twice, I think we're better off starting in July. That's my suggestion to the board.
Are these on file with the Attorney General's office,
Ours?
our policies?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I think they're supposed to be.
I've never heard that before. So
There's an Administrative Responsibility Act that says they're all supposed to be on file. So if we send them to the Attorney General's office, there is no attorney's review. They review it. But without it being filed with the Attorney General's office, they carry no weight.
I've never heard of them being filed with the Attorney General's office. So I've never filed them with the Attorney General's office. It doesn't mean somebody didn't.
20 years I've never known them to be filed with the Attorney General's office.
I would doubt their office would have time to review every school district's policies.
Are you suggesting that you want our attorney to take a look at that, Sherry, or?
I think it's something to think about. I mean, if we've got policies that don't mean anything, then there's no point reviewing them in the first place.
All our policies mean something. They've been adopted by the board, so they're enforced.
Well, we haven't followed all of them. And yes, I think if we're going to do it, we need to look at them as a board, because what I'm finding is that nobody knows what they are. We've got two people here as the board, for the book, me and Mr. Rubel.
I don't know them all either.
I don't either, but I certainly look them up.
Yeah.
I know basically what's in there.
Remember from our work session a couple weeks ago, we're going to do the best we can to work as a team and work together and be polite and
Am I
all
being
that. So
impolite?
no, I'm just saying that we need to come to a consensus as to how we want to do this and work as a team to do it together.
And I asked to be put on the agenda, and I was not put on the agenda other than as a discussion item, but that was not my decision.
But that is the agenda. The discussion items are the agenda too. So.
And Sherry, that's why I guess when I looked at it is that it started out as a discussion item. If we want to then move it to the agenda, it gives us a chance to talk
I
about
would
it.
like very much to move the first 5 policies to the agenda for next meeting so that we can look at them
Okay.
and either adopt them or change them or whatever we need to do.
Again,
So you want to vote on them next month or discuss them next month, the changes?
What difference does it make? You're
We
saying
can
that we can
discuss
vote
them.
on it or discuss it. I mean, we voted on what?
Okay, you come next month with, you want to change number 2. okay? None of us know what your point of view is.
So we're gonna talk about it, and if we need
I
to change it, then
understand.
it goes to the next meeting for change.
That's what I'm getting at, it, but you didn't, she said, what does it matter if you vote or not?
What?
Okay.
Normally, we don't put things on the
I asked,
action.
I said, do you want to discuss it or vote on it, and you said, what's the difference? So discussing it is not voting on it.
Then we decide if we're going to move it forward. I mean, do I need to be that specific? I would just like it on the agenda.
I guess I
so
want
we
to
can
know
start
which
to
section
do
you
it.
want it on.
The first five, you want the first five,
Which section,
Okay.
a simple question, discussion item or a voting item? What is it called?
Again, discussion.
the,
That was my question, and you said, well, it doesn't matter.
See, I don't understand this whole discussion or motion. That's not the way most boards work. It's either a new agenda item or an old agenda item. If it's new and you decide to vote on it, then it's a done deal. If you want to talk about it and move it forward, then it becomes an old agenda item. I've never dealt with anything like this.
Let me give you a little history of this board again. And a lot of good people have served on this board way before you and me and everyone else is here, but
You don't serve on the board, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
but I work with them as a team member. But I think we reserve action items. We reserve action items for those things we're ready to vote on. And we know we're ready because they've been on the discussion for maybe a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months. And I think that's when something becomes an action item. And I believe our policies give me the prerogative to make that decision if something goes from a discussion to an action item.
So, as
And
a board,
as a board member, either Sean or any 2 board members can request something to be put on the agenda, but I think it should, Sherry, and truthfully, I think it should go to a discussion item until our general consensus is that we're ready to vote on it.
I have no problem with that, put it on as a discussion item. I'd just like to see it someplace.
Sure. And I think we can do that, but we've waited this long. I don't think it'll hurt us to wait till July after I get all the policy updates from Guestford. So could we wait that much at least to see what new we get coming in June?
I could pretty much guarantee you that the first 5 are so milquetoast that nobody's going to want to change anything. But it gives us a basic of what our responsibilities as a board are. So no, I would like them on the agenda for the next meeting,
On the discussion.
on discussion
Yes, ma'am.
items.
okay. So which policies are those, Sharon?
1105,
So are we gonna develop a plan though? I mean, are we gonna do 5 every month? Let's don't
Yeah.
worry about that, let's worry about a plan. If we're gonna start a plan, let's develop a
we
plan.
can't do a plan until we agree if we're going to do it, and that's what these first 5 are about. That's what they say. You know, are we going to review them biannually? Then we can set up how we want to do that. Are we not going to do it at all? Throw it out. I mean, that's what these are all for. 11.5, 11.10, 11.15, 11.20, 11, or 12.05. Do 4. The first 4 are about statutory authority, legal description, our goals, and our evaluation. And the evaluation falls into what Sean wants to do. So if we talk about it at the next meeting, come July meeting, we're ready to do something.
So we're gonna do 5 every
4.
month, 4 every month?
I don't think at this point it matters. I think we need to start with those 4, and then we can talk about how we want to move forward.
Okay, let's
We
go ahead.
gotta
We'll put-
start.
We'll put those first 4 on the discussion items for next week, so everybody can prepare, or next month.
First 4, what are the numbers?
Oh, no,
11.5, 11.20.
11.15 and 11.20.
So 5, 10, 15, and 20?
Yes.
Okay. Cross off 12 and 5. Okay, we will put that on a discussion item.
We'll also have to set up some criteria as to,
Length and,
well, no, just what if 2 people want something changed and 7 people are passive? I mean, does that mean it gets changed? I mean, we're gonna have to come up with some kind of criteria, you know, and we'll vote as soon as the board's ready to vote. That's the
Right.
process that we take, so. We had this discussion when we did this before. A lot of times, somebody wanted something changed. We had to come to some kind of consensus that it needed to be changed. A lot of times, we didn't change anything, so we'll have to, be able to work that out as a team, as a group. We can do that.
Okay. Any other questions on this
Back to
one?
that Don Fritz, though, thank you very much. I mean, I really do think it was beneficial.
Yeah, I do too.
I really do.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to our last one is, discussion item, is our next board meeting, Monday, June 13th, 2011, at the high school at 7:30 PM again? I know it's not on there, but
Yeah,
I would say,
I'm sorry.
no, well, that's fine, I just want to make sure they're your farmers, they might want to get in here early, but, they got all
Maybe it'll rain.
Right, that's a couple of those in here. Okay, moves us on to number 8, adjournment of the meeting, that the regular meeting of May 9th, 2011 be adjourned at, I got 8:34 PM.
So move, Audrey's not here.
Kim Shannon. Questions, comments, roll call.
Hardline.
Yes.
Shokar.
Yes.
Feinschmidt.
Yes.
Dunn.
Yes.
Yes, Dickerson absent.
Yes. Thank you, folks. Bring your stuff with you next month.
I can probably make copies of the first floor for everybody if they don't want to bring the big book. Review them at home and then I can either send them in the packet or I'll have them later.
One policy book.
You're doing this for mine. Right, school in the house?
Yeah, I heard more than that.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
I didn't make a
Like, I love
quote
it.
on
I'm
it.
so glad for so long.
He called me and I've been swamped with other things, but I'm gonna try to get back to him tomorrow. I'll make a bid on one of those. I'll try to lump all in and see where it can end up.
Yeah, I thought the pool was gonna crack open. Have a good one.
I know everybody else. Nice already printed out.
I think